I was asked how I mark out my plantings, especially now that I've eliminated the square foot uh, square markers. And what I do is I have two implements. One is a little piece of wood with some markings on it, and the other is a dowel stick. I'll zoom in and get you a closer shot of that. The piece of wood is just a very thin piece of wood. It's actually a piece of oak I had left over from a woodworking job, and on it I have some markings that are numbered, and this one is marked number 2. That means that if I mark a mark here, I split the row in two. By the way, the board is exactly 1 foot in length. And if I mark here and here, that means I split it into 3 sections. Here's 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6. 3, 4, 5, and 6. And the way I use it is this marks out 1 foot in the row length. And let's say I want to make this 3 or 9 per square. So I mark it 3 and 3. Then I can come around this side. I mark my end, and then the 2 middle pieces that I just did. And then I can mark my end here. And I can do the same thing on this side. 3 and 3. And make my mark there. And make my mark there. And now I have 9, well there would be 9 except for this piece of wood, squares to a foot. And what I'm doing is I'm just continuing down the row. I'm not limiting it to 1 foot. So I might go maybe like this and do another 4 or something on that order. But then my little dowel stick that I have, if you can see this, it has markings on it. The lower one is for a 1/4 inch depth, this is for a 1/2 inch, and then the upper one is 1 inch. And I have the same thing on the other side for larger seeds. It's just rounded over, but it's not sharpened to a point like this one is. To use it, depending on what seed I'm planting, I can just put a little hole in each one, like that. Drop my seeds in, and then cover them up just by giving it a little pinch, and that square is done planted. And basically that's what I'm doing, and so far it's working pretty good. Hi, we had kind of a rare nice day yesterday, so I finally got some things planted in the garden, and I will take you through and show you what I did. This first bed has got all my peppers and tomatoes. The peppers in the front here are poblanos. There's 3 of those. Then there's 2 early jalapenos, and 2 bananaramas. And in the back over here we have 3 peperoncinis. And the tomatoes are these are these are black cherries from seeds that Dale Calder sent me. And these are buckabees there, and that one there. And the reason they look so thin is that I had to remove most of the leaves. I've got some sort of a fungal thing going on here. I don't know if you can see that in the video here. I'll try to get it as best I can, but you can see they're kind of browning up and dying off on me. And it happened to all of them maybe a couple weeks after I transplanted them, and I have no idea because it was in the house. They were still in the house at the time, so it wasn't anything that they got from being outside. So I have yet to identify it, but I removed the worst of the leaves and transplanted them. They're planted nearly to the bottom of the bin, so they're way down in there. and I'm hoping that they'll recover. I also sprayed them with a product called made by Safer Garden. It's called the 3-in-1 spray, and it's supposed to control 3 different kinds of fungus. So I don't know, we'll see. I don't have a lot of hope for my potato crop, but tomato crop this year, but it may be my last year for these kind of things, these warm weather crops. They just don't grow well in this climate. It's too cool and too wet for them. This one on the end here is an oregano plant that came back from last year. Last year I planted the seed and it didn't do anything, and then when I planted something else in its spot and gave up on it, and lo and behold, there it is. So that was a surprise. And over here, there's two 2-foot rows here that I haven't planted yet. And then in this row here I've got golden beets, and right behind it the reddish ones are bull's blood, and they're all coming up now. And in this section I have another beet. I think they were called a Ruby Queen, and I didn't get very good germination, but they were leftover seeds from last year, so I wasn't expecting 100%. Onions are doing well. The garlic is looking very good. I'm very pleased with the garlic. It's growing nicely. The half the row is a hard neck, that half, and then this half is a soft neck. The hard neck is the red chestnut, and the soft neck is a Susanville. And here we have cherry bell radish and scallion, or not scallions, shallots, and French breakfast radish over there. And my potatoes are doing really well. That's red Norland, as is that one, and these two bigger ones, bigger pots I mean, are the Yukon Gem. So the red Norland is outgrowing the Yukon Gem right now, but I think that's a normal thing. The red Norland are an early season potato, and the Yukon Gem are a mid-season potato. And I put in 4 more pots here, more of it as an experiment. These are 2 peppers here. This one is a Bananarama, and that one over there is a Peperoncini. And I'm just, oh, I'm sorry, that is a early jalapeno, not a Peperoncini. I'm just trying to see how they do in pots versus how they do in the ground over there. And the same with those 3 tomato plants. I put 2 in that one and 1 in that one. My intention was to grow 1 per pot, but I received a comment that the pot might have been too big and probably could have held more than 1 plant. So I'm trying 2 in that one, and we'll see how they go. However, they too are infected with whatever that bacterium is, so I don't have a whole lot of hope for them, but you never know. Plants sometimes surprise you. So that's what I got going for now, and hopefully it'll warm up around here. It's been so cold and rainy that things are not growing anywhere near what they should be, but I'm pleased with the results on the cool weather things, especially in this bed here. These guys are all doing really well. I'm very happy with that, but the rest is pretty slow going. I was going to show you an update on the hydroponic unit too, except I'm going to be changing the nutrients, so I think I make a whole separate video on that, and you should be able to see that in a few days. Okay, that's it for now. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.